Hey, it's James, Fathers Rights and Resources, hashtag how I got cussy. In this video, I'm going to respond to typical comments that are on my YouTube channel. A lot of times people come on my YouTube channel where I talk to people about arguments that I've used in court and arguments that I've won. Or if you don't know the details of arguments that work, get a consult with me. And then I get people commenting, I went to court and said this and did that, and the court still ruled against me. And it's obvious in your comments that you didn't argue the right argument and you didn't argue the right way. If you go in there and do what everybody else is doing and still losing, you're not changing anything. You know, black people went into Jim Crow South for decades in the courts, and their attorneys did the same old, and nothing changed until there was a civil rights movement. Women went to court or were rape victims and were trying to prosecute rapists, and nothing happened until like rape shield laws and suffrage movement or something. You have to do something different. I don't understand why people come to my YouTube channel and tell me how they lost in court, and then you never get a consult with me. What's the point? I mean, would you go to a Michael Jordan camp and say, "Hey, I got cut for my middle school team and my high school team, and it's about to be my senior year, and I don't think I'll make the team." And are you going to the camp to learn something or to tell him your negative testimonials? People get on there and they want to comment about how corrupt the system is. I already know that. I'm trying to tell people a different way to argue this stuff. Like people go in there and say, I went in there and I proved that the mother was in contempt and the court ignored me or didn't think it was a big deal. Well, convince them that it is a big deal. You went into court and you did not tell them, hey, this is a form of child abuse. I'm a basic life need in the child's life, and this is psychological abuse. You wouldn't put this hearing off for another several months or wait until trial or not get her found in contempt and just give her a warning. You wouldn't say, hey, stop stabbing the kid, stop beating the kid, stop biting the kid, stop slapping the kid around, stop letting your boyfriend molest the kid. You wouldn't give them a verbal warning about physical abuse. Why are you giving them a verbal warning about psychological abuse? Are any of you going to court and talking like that? No. And I'm telling you, this is the answer. And none of you will get a consult to learn specific things about your specific case. You just want to whine, cry, piss, and moan in the comments about how your losing argument caused you to lose. This isn't a court system. We already know this isn't a court system where you can go in and argue the plain language and the plain obvious evidence that would normally win you your case in, like, say, criminal court or another court that's more logical. You're in a corrupt court system and you have to work it and fight the system the way that you need to fight it. This, again, is another insane thing to me. You're in need of help and you're complaining about how you're losing argument, or people are complaining, I don't know what to do, or I don't know how to do it, or when I started, I didn't know how to do it. That's where I am. Then get some help. I mean, I don't know what to think of to even give you an analogy to hopefully grasp this, but this is why I say my gender sometimes is a bunch of numbnuts. I'm sitting here with answers for people. And they come to the person with answers and they talk about their failed way of doing stuff and don't want to get answers. And you just want to have this. This is what I complain about with the Fathers' Rights Movement. They have meetings and sit around and everybody whine, cries, and pouts. You have the answers right in front of you. Like, let's say there was I don't know, let's say there was a medicine, or let's say there was a natural remedy or an herb. Like, a lot of herbologists and people talk about, health cures that are out there and natural remedies that the pharmaceuticals won't tell you about or doctors won't tell you about because they want to sell you meds, which make you sicker. So let's say there was an herb out there. Like some people say dandelion root kills cancer cells. Let's say dandelion root. If you take dandelion root tea for a week, it'll kill all your cancer cells. Let's say that was proven, and let's just pretend, okay, just for hypothetical. And then you go on a YouTube channel, excuse me, and let's say you go on a YouTube channel and they're talking about dandelion root, and here's the place you can order it, and here's clinical trials that have shown that it cures cancer if you take this herbal tea, dandelion root tea, in a week. How insane would it be for somebody to say, get on there and say, yeah, I've suffered from cancer for a year. I tried chemo. I tried this. I tried that, and it didn't work. And that's the end of your comment. And you don't place an order, or you don't ask them to prove that they know what they're talking about. See how insane this is? Or somebody says, my car won't start. I don't know what it is, whether it's electrical, the battery, whether it needs a new alternator or fuses. I don't know what it is. And then you don't go to a shop, or you don't have a buddy who knows how to fix cars or analyze them, and you don't go and check it out. That's how insane this is. I have won in court, and thousands of my clients have won over and over in court, and I still see people come on my YouTube channel and say, I went to court and I lost and my judge screwed me. And, like, did you just go to court and just lose a couple weeks ago? Why don't you do a motion for reconsideration and add some arguments that worked for me and thousands of other guys? Why don't you get a consultation and call and get some help to learn how to argue the right way? Because obviously what you're doing isn't working. Now, there's no 100% guarantee that what I've said or what I've done and other people have done will always work. You might have a judge that just has an end for you. But stop being so hopeless that after your first try of the same loser argument that hasn't worked for you before, stop holding on to that. Do something different. And the best way to do something different is to get a consult with me and find out what you said in court, what went wrong, what the judge said, and how to attack it. Why are you quitting right now? I get so many quitter comments, and the average person doesn't see it as a quitter comment, but to me it obviously is, because you're saying, and you might not see it either. You're coming in here telling me why you lost. And you presented some evidence. I have people come in and they'll say, well, I presented some evidence, or I presented this, or I went in to bring in my evidence and the judge wouldn't look at it. Well, there's an argument for that. Or the judge said, we're going to put this off we're going to put your contempt off until trial. We're going to put your complaint about the mother's boyfriend off until trial. There's an urgent matter right now, and there's a way to come across the court and argue that. But you're not even trying to find that out. How come you guys just quit after the first try? I went to court and the mother got a restraining order. It lasted 2 weeks, and then we had a hearing on it. And then the judge said, go get a parenting plan and come back here. And he was kind of inclined to just throw the whole thing out. And the mother and her family was like, no, help her. So he granted it for 2 more weeks until we went to family court. Then it fell off. And then in family court, I got nothing. The mother didn't try and get a protection order the rest of the original case. Then she tried later on. She got a new crazy attorney. Then he tried 5 other times. The more I didn't talk to her, the more they tried to get restraining orders against me. Some of you guys know how that is. But my point is, for 2.5 months, I got nothing from the court, and I kept at it, and I changed my argument, and I learned from my last mistake. I didn't say, I went and I gave it the good old hurrah, good old try, and now I'm just going to wait until trial next year. Go back and undo what they did. Do a reconsideration, then do another reconsideration. Do a motion to vacate. But for crying out loud, you're watching my videos, and then you tell me, I've been watching your videos, and, I made a couple arguments, and then the stuff you're talking about is just the basic legal one-on-one stuff that anybody could do, but you're not arguing stuff like that I would do or that worked for me or other people. Like, tell the court it's urgent now. You need to rescue the kids now, quoting the Code of Judicial Conduct, the preamble to the Code of Judicial Conduct to the judge. Tell the judge about their allegiance to the welfare of the child and how they're going to release the child into society and be dysfunctional, and they have a duty of care to the public. And that this is a form of child abuse, and the psychological and emotional abuse is worse than physical abuse. And the analogy I gave earlier, you wouldn't say, oh, let's wait and hold off a few months to see if we can stop the child abuse then. And that's just a few arguments, and none of you are even attempting that, and then you're complaining that you're losing, and we need to change the culture of the court system and the mindset of the judge and unbrainwash them from the bullcrap, and you're not even attempting to do that. And you're sitting there basically saying, oh, none of this stuff really works. You haven't even tried. Get some help from somebody who won. Don't be retarded. Use some common sense here. If you care about your